Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. Welcome back to Mastodon Comics and Music. This is another episode of Marvel Graphic Novel Reviews. Today, Sensational She Hulk. This is number 18. It was released in July of 1985. And it was written and penciled by John Byrne, incomparable John Byrne, um, with Kim DeMulder and Petra Scotese on inks and colors, respectively. This is my first read of She-Hulk. This is my first foray into the world of She-Hulk. Other than I have watched the first few episodes of the show, but this as far as reading the book, so uh, got a little more informed, should we say. Um, Very fun read. Um, the art is fantastic. Colors are fantastic. Bravo to Kim and Petra for their um, contributions to this. It just added to the story. Um, Very fun, very funny. Um, the dialogue was great. Um, but uh, come to the realization that She-Hulk's a bit of a pervert. So it's like, um, I guess whatever. But anyway, this story revolves around uh, She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters, and her boyfriend Wyatt Wingfoot, um, and they are out on a night on the town, and um, they end up getting kidnapped by Shield operatives, using in my perception, an extremely lame excuse for kidnapping her to make sure that she wasn't going to turn into the big green nasty like her cousin Bruce. Um, but as you read the book, it becomes more evident that this is kind of a scumbag power grab, and they basically not imprison. They lock Wyatt up and take her and have her analyzed. They poke and prod at her, um, and she is going along with it just because she's concerned uh, for the safety of Wyatt. Um, Meanwhile, while all this is going on, the deceased Nevada prospector Will Campbell comes aboard the Shield helicarrier, um, and we find out that uh, he is inhabited, or he is walking the earth, because he encountered a sentient form of cockroach uh, back 100 or so years ago, um, while prospecting, and this sentient uh, colony of cockroaches is living inside of him and using his life force to parasite. Um, and so, aside from Shield having to deal with She-Hulk and her uh, busting out, we should say, getting free, um, they have to deal with uh, this sentient cockroach who's hell bent on world domination. fun, very fun story. Uh, at the end of the book, um, due to radiation exposure after uh, the helicarrier crashes, we find out that She-Hulk can no longer transform back and forth between her green counterpart um, and her normal self, Jen Walters. So I'm assuming that arc was continued in the main books. But again, this was a very fun read. With that, I'm going to show some of the interiors, and the interiors are absolutely awesome. So here you see the kind of the prelude, um, Nevada desert, an above ground nuclear test, one of the last. Um, and there you see Will Campbell, Fantastic Four, Sergeant Fury over here, um, analyzing the data on She-Hulk. Again, the art is just absolutely fantastic. True John Byrne fashion. Going on in town, and the taxi cab is all beside himself, or the cab driver, I should say. That's the robots kidnapping She-Hulk and Wyatt. Some of the just fantastic art. Here you see deceased Will Campbell has joined the crew of the Shield helicarrier. Just the stuff like this is just brilliant. It really highlights how good this entire creative team on this book. How good they were. You know, there they are performing the strip search on the unnecessary and very public strip search on She-Hulk, and she's get a good look, and Dum Dum comes in and he wants to know what's going on, and he's confronted with a very naked She-Hulk, and he's very pissed off about it. And this Dooley gentleman is the main antagonist. He's a bit of an asshole, and believe me, he gets what he deserves. I just wanted to highlight the art. Just absolutely fantastic. That looks better. I wish I could get my camera to focus a little better. Here you see, you don't exactly know what's going on. You think maybe he's sucking a life force out of him. Because then it flips page, and there it is. But again, some fun jokes. This guy's trying to make the donuts, and now he's out of a job because a plane fell on the donut shop. But just some of the panels are just fantastic. And I think my favorite panel, this one here, just absolutely gorgeous. The helicarrier crashing in all its glory. So that's She-Hulk, Sensational She Hulk, number 18. Um, thanks for watching. If you get a chance, check this out. It's a very great read. I gave this a 9.0 because the art's fantastic. The story is great. The dialogue is great. There's I laughed several times in this, reading this, and uh, definitely worth a checking it out. Stay tuned for the next episode. Um, I believe it's a Conan graphic novel. But in the meantime, keep reading, keep collecting, and keep sharing.